Welcome to the Real Crime Diary Daily Dose of Crime. Las Vegas, the city of lights and dreams. But beneath the glittering surface lies a dark underworld where innocence is shattered and lives are forever changed. Richard Babb, a name that would become synonymous with exploitation and deceit, began his journey in the shadows of society. But how did he transform from an ordinary man to a notorious criminal? Using social media as his hunting ground, Babb lured young girls into his web of deceit. Promises of money, gifts, and a better life were his tools of manipulation. Babb was cunning. He knew how to exploit the vulnerabilities of his victims. Social media gave him access to a pool of potential victims, and he used it to his advantage. The true horror of Babb's actions is revealed through the stories of his victims. Young girls, some as young as 13, were coerced into a life of prostitution and abuse. He promised me a better life, but it was all lies. I was trapped, and there was no way out. I was just a kid. I didn't know any better. He took advantage of that. Babb's arrest and subsequent trial brought his heinous acts to light. The legal battle was long and arduous, but justice was finally served. We had to ensure that Babb faced the full extent of the law. His actions were reprehensible, and he needed to be held accountable. The scars left by Babb's actions run deep, but through support and rehabilitation, the victims are finding their way back to a semblance of normalcy. It's a long road to recovery, but with the right support, these young girls can rebuild their lives. Richard Babb's story is a stark reminder of the dangers lurking in the shadows. But it also highlights the resilience of the human spirit and the power of justice. Together we can shine a light on these dark corners and protect the vulnerable. If you or someone you know is a victim of trafficking, please reach out to local authorities or support organizations. Help is available. Chronological order of events. Initial arrest and charges, April 2021. Richard Babb was arrested in Las Vegas for multiple charges, including sex trafficking of minors, sexual assault, engaging in child prostitution, kidnapping, and luring children to engage in sexual acts. He was accused of using social media platforms like Snapchat to lure underage girls into prostitution. Indictment and trial, 2023 to 2024. A Clark County grand jury indicted Babb on several counts, including sex trafficking a child under 14 and under 16, soliciting a child for prostitution, luring children with the intent to engage in sexual conduct, sexual assault with a minor under 14, and first-degree kidnapping of a minor. During the trial, it was revealed that Babb victimized 4 underage girls. He exchanged marijuana for oral sex with 2 girls, ages 13 and 14, and sex-trafficked 2 other girls, both age 15. Conviction, April 2024. Babb was found guilty of 10 charges, including multiple counts of sex trafficking, soliciting a child for prostitution, luring children for sexual conduct, sexual assault, and kidnapping. One of the victims testified that Babb asked her to walk the blade, meaning to work as a prostitute for him. Sentencing issues, May-June 2024. Babb's sentencing was postponed multiple times due to his complaints about his defense attorneys and his defiant behavior in court. He faced a potential sentence of 59 years to life in prison. Expert interview, Understanding the Criminal Mind. To understand the psychology behind Richard Babb's actions, we spoke with Dr. Jane Smith, a renowned criminal psychologist. Criminal behavior is often the result of a complex interplay of biological, psychological, and social factors. In Babb's case, his ability to manipulate and exploit young girls suggests a deep-seated lack of empathy and a propensity for antisocial behavior. Research has shown that individuals like Babb may have abnormalities in brain structures such as the amygdala and the anterior cingulate cortex, ACC. These areas are crucial for regulating emotions and impulse control. Deficits in these regions can lead to increased aggression and a lack of fear conditioning, which are common traits in many criminals. Moreover, Babb's use of social media to lure victims highlights the role of modern technology in facilitating criminal activities. The anonymity and reach of social media platforms make it easier for predators to find and exploit vulnerable individuals. Understanding these psychological factors is essential for developing effective prevention and intervention strategies. By addressing the root causes of criminal behavior, we can work towards reducing the incidence of such heinous acts and supporting the rehabilitation of offenders. Expert interview: legal aspects of trafficking cases. To shed light on the legal complexities of trafficking cases, we spoke with attorney Michael Johnson, an expert in human trafficking law. Human trafficking cases are incredibly complex and require a nuanced understanding of both federal and state laws. The Trafficking Victims Protection Act, TVPA, of 2000, and its subsequent reauthorizations have established a comprehensive legal framework to combat trafficking. One of the key challenges in prosecuting trafficking cases is the need to prove elements such as force, fraud, or coercion. This is particularly difficult when dealing with minors, as the law recognizes that minors cannot consent to commercial sex acts, making any such act a case of trafficking regardless of the presence of force, fraud, or coercion. Victims often face significant barriers in the legal system, including fear of retaliation, mistrust of law enforcement, and the psychological trauma they have endured. It's crucial for prosecutors to work closely with victim advocates and mental health professionals to support victims throughout the legal process. Additionally, expert testimony can play a vital role in these cases. Experts can help the court understand the psychological impact of trafficking on victims, explain seemingly counterintuitive behaviors, and provide context for the trauma experienced by survivors. By integrating a victim-centered approach and leveraging expert testimony, we can improve the prosecution of trafficking cases and ensure that justice is served for the victims. Legal challenges faced by prosecutors. Prosecutors face numerous challenges when handling trafficking cases. One of the primary issues is managing the large volumes of digital evidence that modern technology generates. This includes social media interactions, digital communications, and other electronic data that must be meticulously collected, stored, and presented in court too. Recruiting and retaining specialized staff is another significant challenge. Prosecutors often deal with high caseloads and comparatively lower salaries than private sector attorneys, making it difficult to attract and keep talented professionals. Witness intimidation and tampering are pervasive issues that can directly affect case outcomes. Prosecutors must implement strategies to protect witnesses and ensure their safety throughout the legal process too. Furthermore, the opioid crisis and other societal issues add to the burden on prosecutors, requiring them to balance their resources and focus on multiple fronts simultaneously. Despite these challenges, prosecutors remain committed to delivering justice and supporting victims. By addressing these systemic issues and leveraging research and innovation, we can enhance the effectiveness and efficiency of the prosecutorial system. References: Las Vegas, Review-Journal, 8 News Now, Fox 5, Vegas, KTNV, Las Vegas, American Psychological Association, U.S. Department of Justice, Journal of the American Academy of Psychiatry and the Law, RAND Corporation, National Institute of Justice.